When your actions align with your words, people can depend on you. They know that if you say something, it's not just lip service, it's a promise backed up by action. Consistency in this regard builds credibility. It tells the world that you can be counted on. Whether you're in a professional environment or personal relationships, being consistent shows that you understand the importance of following through. This kind of consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means that your words reflect your values and your actions reflect your words. It means that when you speak, people can trust that you're not just saying things to appease them or to sound good in the moment. Your actions prove that you mean what you say. On the flip side, when your words and actions don't align, it creates a disconnect that's hard to ignore. If you claim to be someone who values honesty, but your actions show deceit or avoidance, people will start to notice. If you talk about being committed to something, yet your actions suggest the opposite, you lose credibility. Inconsistent behavior breeds skepticism. People will begin to wonder what's real, what's genuine, and what's merely being said to fit the situation. It's like walking into a room with conflicting energy, one that says, I care about you, but then demonstrates a lack of care in the very next moment. Over time, this dissonance erodes trust, and trust is the foundation upon which all relationships are built. The power of consistency lies in its simplicity. It's not about making grand gestures or promises, it's about showing up every day in big ways and small in a way that reflects what you stand for. It's about honoring your commitments even when no one is looking. It's in the little things, the details. When you make a promise to someone, follow through. When you say you'll do something, do it, no excuses. This level of consistency reinforces a sense of stability and reliability, which builds respect and confidence in others. It's a trait that not only strengthens your character, but also deepens your relationships and elevates your presence in the world. But consistency doesn't just benefit the people around you. It also benefits you. When your words and actions are aligned, you feel a sense of peace and integrity within yourself. There's no inner conflict. There's no tension between what you're saying and what you're doing. You don't have to keep track of lies or half-truths because you're always operating in alignment with who you truly are. This inner harmony brings confidence, clarity, and a sense of peace. It's empowering because it frees you from the burden of trying to maintain a facade or keep up with contradictions. The more consistent you are, the more aligned you feel, and that alignment attracts positivity, success, and a greater sense of fulfillment. Consistency of words and actions also plays a critical role in leadership. Leaders who are consistent in what they say and do create environments of trust, transparency, and unity. People follow those who lead by example, not those who say one thing and do another. When you lead with integrity, you inspire loyalty and admiration. People know what to expect from you, and that predictability provides a sense of safety. This doesn't mean a leader is rigid or inflexible. It means that no matter the circumstance, their core values and principles remain consistent. They walk the walk as much as they talk the talk. That consistency in behavior, whether in times of success or adversity, solidifies their role as someone who can be counted on, someone whose actions will match their words. In all relationships, whether professional or personal, consistency of words and actions builds stronger, more meaningful connections. It eliminates the confusion and mistrust that can arise when words aren't backed up by actions. When you are consistent, people begin to understand the real you, the person behind the words. They see that you are someone they can rely on. And that's an invaluable quality in any relationship. Trust becomes a constant. Respect becomes earned. And your integrity becomes a powerful force that shapes your future, attracting the right people and opportunities that align with your authentic self. The beauty of consistency is that it's not dependent on external validation or approval. It's an internal commitment to living in alignment with your values. It's about choosing to act with integrity, even when it's not convenient or easy. It's about staying true to yourself and your word, no matter the circumstances. And when you do that, you create a life of authenticity, trust, and respect, qualities that will follow you wherever you go and inspire others to do the same. In conclusion, the consistency of words and actions is the cornerstone of trust, integrity, and authenticity. It is the quiet power that speaks volumes, shaping how others perceive us and, most importantly, how we perceive ourselves. When your words and actions align, you create a foundation built on reliability and respect, forming deeper connections with those around you. It's not just about making promises or speaking eloquently. It's about showing up every day and doing what you say, regardless of the circumstances. By living consistently, you foster an environment of trust, inspire confidence, and lead by example, creating a life where your integrity is your most powerful asset. The impact of consistency extends beyond words. It transforms relationships, strengthens your character, and builds a legacy that others can depend on. So remember, what you say matters, but what you do proves it. Let your words and actions always be in harmony, and you'll find that the trust, respect, and peace you seek will night to. Rally follow. The tone of voice holds an undeniable truth that often speaks louder than the words being spoken. It's the subtle melody in someone's voice, the way they say something that can reveal their true emotions, intentions, and even hidden thoughts. When you listen closely, you can hear when someone is being genuine, when they're masking something, or when they're trying to convey something they're not saying outright. The tone carries weight. It conveys far more than the content of a conversation ever could. For instance, the pitch and volume of someone's voice can tell you a lot about their emotional state. A high-pitched voice may indicate nervousness, anxiety, or discomfort. When someone is feeling stressed or unsure, their voice often rises, almost as if the tone itself is trying to carry the tension. On the other hand, a lower, steady tone can signify confidence, calmness, and control. When a person speaks with a low, controlled voice, it can create a sense of authority and self-assurance. The subtle shifts in pitch and tone are like an emotional fingerprint unique to each individual and situation. The speed at which someone speaks also holds powerful information. If someone is speaking rapidly, it may suggest excitement, nervousness, or a sense of urgency. They might be in a rush to get their point across, or they might be feeling pressure to perform or convince you. If they're speaking slowly and deliberately, it could indicate that they are measured, thoughtful, or trying to gain your trust. A slower pace often creates an air of sincerity, while speed can sometimes suggest a desire to evade or overwhelm. It's in these nuances that you can pick up on deeper layers of meaning beyond just what's being said. The tone also reveals vulnerability or defensiveness. When someone's voice becomes shaky or wavering, it often signals emotional vulnerability. You can hear the hesitation, the uncertainty, or the fear in their voice. It's almost as if their words are trying to find their way out, but the emotions are getting in the way. Conversely, a defensive tone is usually sharper or more forceful. People who feel attacked or judged will often raise their voice or become more rigid in their delivery, trying to protect themselves, to shield their feelings, or to assert their position. In these moments, the tone changes dramatically, and it becomes a signal that something deeper is at play beneath the surface. But sometimes the tone is more subtle, more about what's missing than what's being expressed. A flat, monotone voice, for example, can indicate boredom, disengagement, or apathy. When someone speaks with no inflection, it may suggest that they're not emotionally invested in the conversation or that they're trying to hide their true feelings. This lack of variation in tone can reveal disinterest, discomfort, or even sadness. In these moments, the absence of enthusiasm, warmth, or passion is just as telling as any dramatic shift in pitch. Equally powerful is the tone of voice that conveys warmth and empathy. When someone speaks with softness and care, it can immediately make you feel heard, valued, and understood. You can tell when someone is truly compassionate just by the way they soften their voice or speak in a more gentle manner. This tone can create a sense of safety, inviting openness and trust. People who genuinely care about others often have a voice that reflects that, as if their words are meant to embrace and reassure. It's a tone that brings comfort, connection, and understanding, and it can transform a conversation from transactional to truly meaningful. In moments of conflict, the tone of voice can be the deciding factor between resolution and escalation. When tensions rise, the tone can either diffuse the situation or amplify the conflict. A calm, measured tone during an argument can help to de-escalate emotions and pave the way for understanding. But a raised, aggressive tone will only add fuel to the fire, making it harder to find common ground. The tone sets the emotional atmosphere of a conversation. It establishes the intention behind the words. And when you're paying attention to it, you can often sense the true underlying message someone is trying to convey. The tone of voice is an emotional language in itself. It's the voice's ability to change, to fluctuate, and to resonate with authenticity or inauthenticity that gives it its power. When you're paying attention to how someone speaks, you're hearing their truth, even if they're not fully aware of it. The tone communicates what words cannot always express: fear, excitement, love, anger, sincerity, or doubt. And when you can read that tone, you can connect with the deeper emotional truths of the conversation, allowing you to understand a person in ways that go far beyond the surface. Understanding the tone gives you access to the unspoken, the real, and the raw, and that's where the true meaning of a conversation lies. Energy and presence are two powerful forces that influence how we interact with the world around us. They go beyond physical appearance and words. They are the unseen forces that shake the atmosphere of any room, meeting, or conversation. When someone enters a room, their energy is felt before they even say a word. It's the way they carry themselves, the unspoken vibrations they bring into a space. It can be calming, invigorating, tense, or draining, and it's something that no amount of practice can fake. Energy is authentic, it's raw, and it doesn't lie. When someone exudes positive energy, it's magnetic. It draws people in, makes them feel comfortable, and creates an environment where growth, collaboration, and understanding can flourish. You know when someone has this kind of energy, they're the ones who light up a room with their presence, who seem to lift others around them without even trying. Their energy is grounded, full of warmth, and naturally optimistic. This type of presence commands respect not through force or authority, but through an unwavering sense of self and a genuine care for others. It's the kind of energy that encourages people to want to be around them, to listen to them, and to support them in whatever they're doing. People with this kind of energy are often the ones who inspire others to do better, to think bigger, and to aim higher. On the other hand, negative energy can be just as powerful, though in a far less constructive way. The presence of someone carrying negative energy can feel heavy and stifling. It's a force that drags you down, makes the air feel thick and tense. You've been in rooms where you could just feel the negativity, right? You didn't need to hear the words, you could sense the unease, the anger, the discomfort. People with negative energy can make even the simplest of interactions feel stressful. There's a certain tension in the way they stand, a coldness in the way they look at others, or an impatience in their movements. This energy, whether conscious or unconscious, creates barriers between people and makes it hard for meaningful connection to happen. But here's the thing about energy, it's contagious. When you walk into a room, your energy immediately impacts everyone else in it. You can't help it. It's just how human beings interact. If you're walking in with a positive, confident energy, chances are you'll influence others to mirror that same energy. People will respond to your presence. They'll feel more at ease, more motivated, more focused. But if you bring negativity into a space, it has the same effect. People will feel uncomfortable, defensive, or disconnected. Your energy has the ability to shift the dynamic of any interaction, whether you realize it or not. That's why it's crucial to be aware of the energy you bring into any situation. Your presence alone can dictate the outcome of an interaction. When you walk into a room with an open, authentic energy, people are more likely to respond to you with openness and trust. But if you walk in with defensiveness or anxiety, people can feel that too. And even if you're trying to hide it, your body language, your tone, and your actions will reveal what's going on beneath the surface. Being conscious of your energy is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself because it gives you the ability to intentionally shift the atmosphere around you. Energy and presence are not just about how we affect others, they also reflect how we feel about ourselves. When you feel confident and secure in who you are, your energy naturally reflects that. You don't need to brag or assert dominance because your presence speaks for itself. On the other hand, when you're unsure of yourself, your energy can be off. You might appear tense, closed off, or distracted. People pick up on that energy, whether it's through the way you hold yourself, the way you speak, or the way you react in situations. Your energy is a direct reflection of your internal state. If you want to make a positive impact on those around you, you have to start by working on your own energy, by becoming more self-aware, self-assured, and authentic in your presence. When you understand the power of your energy, you become more intentional about the way you show up in the world. You stop letting life circumstances dictate your mood and start taking control of your emotional state. You recognize that you can influence the people around you in ways that go beyond words or actions. Your energy is a reflection of your internal strength, and it has the power to build bridges, foster connection, and create opportunities. Your presence can be a force for good in the world if you learn how to use it intentionally. So be mindful of the energy you carry with you, because it shapes the world around you more than you might ever know. It's one of the most powerful tools you have in creating the life and relationships you want. The consistency of words and actions is one of the most powerful markers of authenticity. People are constantly watching, not just listening. What we say, how we act, and the way we move through life sets the tone for how we are perceived and how much trust we inspire. If your words and actions align, it creates an undeniable level of integrity that others can't help but respect. It builds a foundation of trust, where people feel safe knowing that what you say is exactly what you do. But when words and actions are inconsistent, it creates doubt, confusion, and dissonance, causing people to question your true intentions and reliability. When your actions align with your words, people can depend on you. They know that if you say something, it's not just lip service, it's a promise backed up by action. Consistency in this regard builds credibility. It tells the world that you can be counted on. Whether you're in a professional environment or personal relationships, being consistent shows that you understand the importance of following through. This kind of consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means that your words reflect your values and your actions reflect your words. It means that when you speak, people can trust that you're not just saying things to appease them or to sound good in the moment. Your actions prove that you mean what you say. On the flip side, when your words and actions don't align, it creates a disconnect that's hard to ignore. If you claim to be someone who values honesty, but your actions show deceit or avoidance, people will start to notice. If you talk about being committed to something, yet your actions suggest the opposite, you lose credibility. Inconsistent behavior breeds skepticism. People will begin to wonder what's real, what's genuine, and what's merely being said to fit the situation. It's like walking into a room with conflicting energy, one that says, I care about you, but then demonstrates a lack of care in the very next moment. Over time, this dissonance erodes trust, and trust is the foundation upon which all relationships are built. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about people. We spend so much time wondering what's going on inside someone's head, but the truth is, the clues are right in front of us. People are constantly communicating, but not always with their words. If you're paying attention, you can read anyone with these 8 signs that they're not even aware they're giving off. Let's dive into it. First, pay attention to the body language. The body doesn't lie. You see, when people speak, their body tells a different story. Look at how they stand, how they move, how they position themselves. Are they closed off, arms crossed, feet shifting like they can't stand still? Or are they open, relaxed, making themselves vulnerable? If you want to know how someone feels, stop listening to the words for a moment and observe the body. The body speaks truths words can't hide. Next, let's talk about eye contact. The eyes are the windows to the soul. When someone is confident, they look you in the eye. When they're truthful, there's an openness in their gaze. But when they're nervous, guilty, or hiding something, you'll see it. They'll avoid your eyes or look down. It's subtle, but once you know how to read it, you'll be able to tell when someone is being real with you and when they're not. Trust me, those eyes will tell you everything you need to know. Then there's the tone of voice. Don't just focus on what people say, focus on how they say it. The tone, the pitch, the speed, these are all signals. Is their voice shaky? Does it quiver with uncertainty? Are they speaking fast, trying to cover something up? Or are they calm, controlled, and steady? The tone is an emotional fingerprint. Pay attention to it, and you'll start hearing the truth beneath the words. Now, let's talk about something that might be harder to catch at first, but is powerful once you know how to look for it: energy and presence. You can feel someone's energy when they walk into a room. It's not just the words they say, it's the vibe they give off. Are they draining the room, sucking the life out of it with negativity or tension, or are they lifting the room with warmth, calm, or confidence? People might not say a word, but their presence alone can tell you everything about their state of mind. Now, let's move on to consistency. Words and actions have to align. This is the big one. People talk a good game, but their actions speak louder than anything they can say. Watch them. If their words are all about trust and loyalty, but their actions don't match, that's a red flag. If they say they're there for you, but they're never present when it counts, that's not someone you want in your life. The key is consistency. Look for alignment between what they say and what they do. If they don't match, there's something off and you need to pay attention. Now, let's get real. People are going to test you, they're going to push your buttons, and they'll try to take you off track. But if you can read these signs, you can make sure you stay one step ahead. You can preserve your peace. You don't have to get caught up in the chaos. If someone is showing you discomfort, hesitation, or inconsistency, don't waste your time. You've got to choose your energy wisely. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you know who you're dealing with. If you can read these signs, body language, eye contact, tone, energy, and consistency, you won't be easily deceived. You won't waste time trying to figure out people who have already shown you who they are. So I challenge you today, start paying attention. Don't just listen with your ears. Look with your eyes. Feel with your heart. There's a whole world of information around you. All the signs are right there. And once you learn how to read them, you'll move through life with greater clarity, greater understanding, and a stronger sense of who you want by your side. Trust your instincts and trust the signs. They will never steer you wrong. Body language speaks volumes. It's the unspoken communication that tells us more than words ever could. Have you ever been in a room with someone and felt a sense of discomfort without them saying a word? Or maybe you've been around someone who exuded confidence, warmth, and trust simply through their presence. That's the power of body language. It's the way we hold ourselves, move, and react when we think no one is looking. The subtle shifts in posture, the way our hands move, the tension in our shoulders, it all reveals something about how we feel, what we think, and what we're trying to convey. When someone is nervous or uncomfortable, it's often written all over their body. Their movements become fidgety, their arms might cross defensively, or their posture might slump as if they're trying to make themselves smaller to avoid attention. This physical withdrawal is a sign that something is off, something they might not want to express in words. On the other hand, when someone is confident, their body language is open, relaxed, and assertive. They stand tall, their shoulders back, their hands open, their movements are deliberate and grounded. This is not just a coincidence, it's a reflection of how they feel inside, strong, capable, and secure. It's not only about how people physically carry themselves, but also how they engage with others. Have you ever noticed someone who is truly engaged in a conversation? Their body is leaning forward, making eye contact and nodding. They're not just hearing you, they're listening. Their body language shows interest, connection, and respect. But when someone isn't interested or doesn't care, their body says something entirely different. They might lean back, cross their arms, or even look away, signaling disconnection or indifference. The physical space people choose to maintain between themselves and others can also speak volumes. If someone is stepping into your personal space, they might be asserting dominance or trying to create an uncomfortable environment. On the flip side, someone who keeps their distance or avoids physical contact may be signaling discomfort or a lack of trust. A key aspect of reading body language is recognizing when someone's words don't match their actions. People might tell you one thing, but their body language reveals the truth. If someone says, "I'm fine," but they're avoiding eye contact, their voice is shaking, and their shoulders are tense, the body language tells a completely different story. It shows the disparity between what they're saying and what they're feeling. This is where your intuition and awareness need to kick in. When words don't match body language, that's a sign to dig deeper, to pay closer attention, because the truth is often hidden behind the gestures, the movements, and the silences. Body language can also reveal power dynamics. In a room full of people, have you ever observed who is naturally at ease, who dominates the conversation, and who stays in the background? The way people hold their space can signal their place in the social order. A person who claims space standing tall, taking up more room with their posture or movements, is often someone who feels confident in their role, whether that role is professional or personal. On the other hand, someone who remains small, avoids eye contact, or keeps their body turned away from others might be feeling uncertain or vulnerable. This body language doesn't just happen by accident, it reflects how they view themselves in relation to others in the room. When you start paying attention to body language, you begin to see that it doesn't lie. It's the honest, unspoken reflection of a person's true feelings. It shows how they feel about themselves, how they feel about others, and how they feel about the situation they're in. Body language is a powerful tool for understanding what's really going on beneath the surface. It allows you to see beyond the words, beyond the facade, and get to the heart of the matter. Understanding body language gives you the power to connect with people on a deeper level. It helps you to navigate relationships with more awareness, to spot when someone might be in distress, when they're uncomfortable, or when they're trying to mask their true feelings. It allows you to see the truth of a situation, not just the surface level. The more you observe, the more you can use body language to assess, engage, and communicate in a way that goes beyond words, and that's a power no one can take away from you. Eye contact is a powerful tool that often speaks louder than words. It's one of the most direct ways we connect with others, and it reveals intentions in a way that is hard to hide. When you lock eyes with someone, you're not just exchanging a look, you're exchanging energy, trust, and information. The way someone looks at you can reveal their emotions, their level of honesty, and their true intentions. Eye contact, or the lack of it, can tell you more than a conversation ever could. When someone is genuinely interested in what you're saying, their eyes reflect it. They make steady, comfortable eye contact because they're engaged, attentive, and present. Their eyes won't dart around the room or look down. They stay focused on you, showing they're fully invested in the interaction. You can feel their presence through their gaze. There's a depth to their attention that goes beyond the surface. You know when someone is truly listening because their eyes are a direct reflection of that connection. You can almost feel the energy of respect and engagement radiating from that simple act of sustained eye contact. On the other hand, when someone avoids eye contact, it's often a signal of discomfort, dishonesty, or even guilt. People who avoid looking you in the eyes might be hiding something or trying to distance themselves emotionally from the conversation. This doesn't always mean they're lying, but it can be an indication that they're not being completely open with you. If someone looks away quickly after you make eye contact, it's as if they're trying to withdraw or create some distance, either emotionally or mentally. In moments of uncertainty or fear, people may instinctively avoid your gaze as a way of protecting themselves, even if they're not consciously aware of it. But eye contact isn't always a sign of openness. It can also be used to assert power, dominance, or control. In certain situations, individuals may make intense or prolonged eye contact as a way to assert their authority or intimidate others. It's a form of nonverbal communication that can challenge the other person, signaling that they are in charge or that they want to make their presence known. This type of eye contact is often accompanied by a posture or energy that matches the message they're sending, one of confidence, dominance, or even aggression. It's important to recognize this dynamic, especially in social or professional settings where power plays a significant role. There's also the subtlety of eye contact in intimate or personal settings. When two people are drawn to each other, there's a natural magnetic quality to their gaze. Their eyes may soften, linger longer, and convey a level of affection or desire. Eye contact in these situations can express emotions that words can't capture: affection, interest, warmth, or even vulnerability. It's a silent form of communication that deepens the connection between two people, letting them share a moment or a feeling without saying a word. The exchange of glances can create a bond that transcends the verbal. And it's often in these moments that the true intention of the relationship becomes clear. However, not all eye contact is created equal. It's not just about how long you look at someone, but the way your eyes move. Rapid blinking, darting eyes, or an inability to hold steady eye contact can indicate anxiety, uncertainty, or even deceit. People who feel nervous, threatened, or unprepared may find it hard to look someone in the eye. This might not always be a sign of dishonesty, but it can suggest a level of discomfort or a lack of confidence in the situation. On the other hand, a calm, controlled gaze often indicates self-assurance, transparency, and comfort with the interaction. Recognizing the nuances in eye contact gives you the ability to understand people on a deeper level. It's not just about the words they speak, but how they speak them with their eyes.